I hate this. I hate this as much as you do. This is too long. This is not okay. Alrighty, everyone. Welcome back to a brand new video. It's been a minute. It really has, as you can tell by the intro. And as I said in the intro, I hate that. I hate how long it's been since I've uploaded consistently. I'll get to that in a minute. As you can see, kind of in a new setup. Not really. I've done this setup before, back before I did a face reveal and stuff. Kind of going back to it. Just, I don't know. I like the casual vibe. You know, we got the lights down low. We're just here in a sweater, mic in hand, some cue cards in the other hand. I was going to use my phone to just, like glance at my notes, scroll through what I'm trying to say here. But then I realized, oh shoot, my phone is recording. So I just jotted it down on some cue cards here, like an old school. Anyways, yeah. I haven't been as active as I've wanted to. Long story short, I joined the school soccer team, and good golly, that plus work plus school gets busy, but like I had to do the people a service, like it was only right I was on the soccer team, I'm like a freaking Ronaldo out there. Like the team needed me, and at the end of the day, as far as like school spirit and stuff goes, Overshore puts butts in seats. That's the reality. People come out to watch me play. I'm just that good. I'm not, but school sports, they take a lot of time. I've been getting busy, but it's winding down, and I love making content. I hated not uploading, but I'm back. New Music Friday. We'll get back into a rhythm now. Everything will be back soon. Reviews and all that. It's going to come back. I am going to fiddle with some new setups, though. Try out some new ways of doing things. I have some ideas for New Music Friday. Just trying stuff out. Why not? Let me know what you guys think of the videos when they go up. At least on the production side, I kind of like the whole casual vibe, and editing wise, not having to move a mouth does really help me out. But it's kind of my brand at this point, so it's hard to like abandon that, but you guys will be the judge of that. But anyways, this is long enough. As you can tell by the title, basically today's video, I'm just going to be talking about all that I've missed. I've got a few albums here. I've got some songs, some announcements and stuff. Anything that I've missed over like the last month, because it's been forever. I'm just going to breeze through here, try and get myself caught up. Just because, it's easy to fall behind, and then you feel behind, and at least for myself, then it's like, okay, how do I get back into the rhythm? Because making a review for all these albums is daunting, and keeping up with New Music Friday and trying to give an in-depth analysis of like 30 major songs I've missed, it's not realistic. So this video is kind of just a melting pot to catch up, bit of a reset, get myself all caught up, and then everything will proceed as normal. So yeah, basically today we're just gonna chill and talk about some country music. I don't think anyone has any complaints about that. And with that, we are going to move into the albums. I'm going to start with the albums I want to talk about. And the first of those albums is the new Miranda Lambert album, Palomino. It came out April 29th, which now is like over 3 weeks ago, I think. It's 15 songs. 3 are from the Marfa tapes. You've got In His Arms, Geraldine, and Waxahachie. Now they're kind of beefed up in a studio environment. I have talked about this album already on the podcast, the episode that just went up, actually. So if you want to hear some more thoughts from other people, like my buddy Jerem, go check that out. That's all linked in the description. For me, I'd say the highlights. I think Carousel is a bit of an obvious choice, but like, it's just one of the best songs. I love the chord progression. There's so many chords going on here, and the way it walks up and down, it almost reminds me of the unreleased song Ernest just posted a few days ago. So I guess based on timeline, the Ernest song would remind me of Carousel, but you know what I mean. It's got a lot going on there, and I really like it. It's very colorful chord progression. I love the addition of the music box. I think that's what it is. The like little wooden boxes that you spin and a little metal thing flicks the chime. You know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure that's in there, and I really like that playful touch. It gives it almost like a carnival vibe, which obviously really goes with the idea of a carousel. I think the studio version of Geraldine's really cool. From the moment you heard it, you could just tell with a bit more rock, a bit more drive, it could be an absolute banger, and it is. As for which one I prefer, I think I prefer the Marfa Tapes version of all of these songs. And that's no shade to the studio versions. I think Waxahachie was really well done as well. And In His Arms, they're all really well done. But I think simply because I've had so much more time with the other versions, and it's all I knew up until this point, I've kind of just grown accustomed to it, and that's what I like. I like that version, so hearing it differently, like it's cool and everything, but I'm still just going to go to the Marfa tapes every single time. I thought Tourist was a really good song. That one stuck out to me. In general, This album focuses a lot on movement and travel, and I really like that. Specifically writing wise, I think this album is really like the fine details are there on this album. And on the topic of like traveling and whatnot, I do want to point out the specific cities and towns and places that Miranda name drops that just make the music feel so much more personal. Like there was a lot more care put into it. She's not just out here name dropping like Tennessee or Nashville or Texas or Austin, stuff like that. Like we've all heard those, but like Havasu Lake, Alameda, Bang. What the frick is Bang? I Googled it, and if I have the right one, it's in Colombia. Like, why are you referencing Colombia? You got the ruins of Angkor. Now it sounds like we're watching Lord of the Rings or something. Waxahachie is obviously a cool little place. How do you even say the one in Carousel? Like, Nacogdoches? Something like that. I don't even know. I can't even pronounce them, but it's just so cool to hear those little details. Also, on the topic of writing, these songs just flow so well. They're very filled out in the verses, and the cadences are really cool. Like the opening stanza to Country Money when she goes, Connie Johnson got a farm in Wisconsin and a diesel in the drive and her air horn honking. I mean, come on, man. How do you come up with that? Yeah, like overall, this album, I really like it. You see Luke Dick and Natalie Hemby a lot more, which is always a good sign. I really like all the songs, and I don't have any complaints about this album at all. Like, I think this is through and through a fantastic album. It's just nothing like really blew me away or caught me off guard or sent me for a whirl. I just listened and I was like, yeah, this is really good Miranda Lambert music. And that's kind of how I feel about it. Yeah, it's really good. Next one I want to talk about is the new Cole Swindell album, Stereotype. I remember back a few months ago now when he dropped I'm Gonna Let Her. That gave me, like, I didn't have high hopes for a Cole Swindell album, but when you open it up with I'm Gonna Let Her, which I thought was a pretty good song, it reminded me a lot of Break Up in the End. It gave me decent hopes, but ultimately, like, you know, my expectations were right. I was pretty let down by this thing. Overall, I find it really surface level, especially the pen game. It's just, the writing is painfully basic. You got songs like Every Beer, Saying You Love Me, Some Habits, Walk on Whiskey. It's like, okay, so you've got an idea we've heard before, but you're really not pitching it in any new way. Like, we've heard these songs before. Like, why should I listen to yours? What details are you going to add? What different perspective or shade are you going to throw onto this song that makes me want to come back to it? It's like pretty much every country artist ever has dropped a better version of Every Beer at some point in time. I mean, you got like Get That Man a Beer by Riley Green, or any song talking to an old guy, People Are Crazy by Billy Currington. Like, there's better options out there. Production-wise, I mean, as you'd expect from a Cole Swindell album, I think it's really overproduced radio pop country. Also, side note, Saying You Love Me is literally, like, sound-wise, just Never Say Never, Control-C, Control-V, which isn't really a good thing, because I'm going to be honest, Never Say Never is, like, one of the most annoying songs of the year so far. But I think when Cole goes countryer, he sounds good. Songs like I'm Gonna Let Her, Some Habits, Walk on Whiskey, even though I kind of crapped on those from a lyrical perspective, sound-wise, I think they sound great. Also, my favorite of the album, She Had Me at Heads Carolina. Songs are freaking jam. Like, Cole can be good. I just feel like he's more interested in the corporate route to success, the radio numbers, the big advertisements. I feel like he's just more interested in that, and like, to each their own. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of this album. Even when it is countryer on the more acoustic moments, Cole's vocal processing is really weird. Like, there is some obvious auto-tune going on here, and it doesn't go down that smooth. His voice sounds very tinny, slightly robotic, and it's like, you got to clean that up, especially on a really acoustic song. It kills the mood when you've got like some Quavo sounding auto-tune in the background. But yeah, Cole Swindell, Stereotype, not a huge fan. There's some all right moments, some decent ideas, but on the whole, you're looking at like a 3 out of 10 maybe. Oh, I got a beefy one next. This is one that I want to talk about just as badly as I want to avoid. It is the new Jason Aldean album, Georgia. I hate this album. I despise this album. I despise Jason Aldean's current music. It is not my vibe. I don't like it. I don't like the attitude. I don't like the music. I don't like anything about it. If anything, I'm glad this album's out. Hopefully we can stop getting Jason Aldean music for a minute. Hopefully there's a longer layoff in between albums, unlike Macon, because, bro, Macon came out and then literally like 3 weeks later, he's already dropping songs for Georgia. And it's like, I know this is a double album, but like give me a minute. I'm still trying to like emotionally recover from what Macon put me through. And now you're just going to throw Georgia at me? No. Yeah, the production, it's overblown. It's just kind of garbage. Everything sounds the same. I've said it before, and I will continue to say it because it is true. Everything sounds the same. And that's not a good thing because I don't really like the sound he's going for with this pop, rock, trap, country. Like, dude, you're like 55 years old. Writing-wise, outside of like 2 or 3 moments on this album, everything just feels really impersonal, and it's just not believable at all. Ain't Enough Cowboy exists. Yeah, that song happened. Even conceptually, like, it just seems like he's leeching on the trend of a double album, because this whole Macon, Georgia season, it's making no sense, man. It doesn't work. It just seems so cheap. Like, oh man, I'm gonna name this album after my hometown, when there is nothing about Georgia. There's nothing about your hometown or growing up. This is literally just like the most generic Jason Aldean music you can think of, just rebranded with a new title and a new album cover, and I don't like it. I think I personally dislike this album a lot more than I critically hate it, but I still critically hate it. It's not that I critically don't mind it, it's that I personally really don't like it passionately, and I'm gonna move on. The last album I want to talk about is the new William Beckmann album. William has been crossing quite a few radars lately. He seems to be picking up a lot of steam. I'm not gonna say I was ahead of the curve by any means, but like, I was kind of ahead of the curve, but thanks to someone else. I forget who it was because my old Instagram account's no longer a thing, but somebody DM'd me like a few months ago, I think, suggesting the song In the Dark to me, and I gave it a listen. Yes, I do listen to your guys' suggestions. If you have songs or artists you want to check out, DM me on Instagram at the Overshore, link in the description. But yeah, I checked it out and I was quite a fan. So I also heard some of the other pre-releases like Follow, which is my absolute jam right now. But now he put out the full album, Faded Memories. It's only 7 tracks. It's a really short album. So it's not a lot of your time. I'd really encourage you to check it out. Most of the songs are out beforehand too, so when it came out for me, it's kind of like just skip to a few songs. If you don't know who William Beckmann is, I don't know how old the guy is. He looks like 15, and that's no offense because I don't look a lot older. But yeah, his sound is absolutely timeless. His voice specifically is timeless. It is like melted chocolate coated in like gold butter or something. I don't even know what I'm saying. He's really just out here trying to steal my grandma singing like that, and you know, I don't mess with that, so maybe there's a little beef between me and him. Like, my grandma's happily married to the best papa in the world, so let's not disturb that, trying to be all like, ooh, look how fancy old school I am. But yeah, I think William's got a lot of potential. I'm glad to see he's getting some more attention. I hope he keeps growing. I hope he keeps dropping fantastic country music. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say. I think the album's really cool. I definitely think you should check it out. Songs like Bourbon Whiskey, Follow, 30 Miles, those are all like really good songs, man. You should check them out. That's all I really have to say. Anyways, I'm gonna move on. That's it for the albums. Now I'm just gonna move on to different songs and news things that I want to talk about. First of which is Morgan Wallen. He dropped 2 songs back-to-back weeks. Thought You Should Know and You Proof. They just came out a week and 2 weeks ago, or reversed respectively. You know what I mean. Y'all know when they came out. Don't act like it wasn't the first thing you listened to. I think Thought You Should Know is beautifully done. As for if I prefer it over Don't Think Jesus, I really don't know. As far as I'm concerned, Don't Think Jesus and Thought You Should Know are kind of like those cool twins at school that everyone just loves. Like, I feel like every school has that pair of twins that just gets along with everyone, and you can't pick one. They're like a package deal. That's kind of how I view Don't Think Jesus and Thought You Should Know. Like, I can't choose between the two. When I listen to one, I just feel the need to go listen to the other. I don't know if y'all get what I mean. And then obviously You Proof came out, and you know, it could have been better. It's all right. I do really like how the lyrics flow, but I mean, if Thought You Should Know and Don't Think Jesus are that cool pair of twins, You Proof is kind of like that set of twins' younger brother that came along into high school and just did not live up to the standard, did not live up to the family name. But, like, it's all right. But onto a more serious note, I wonder if this is leading into an album. I really badly hope it is, because I think Thought You Should Know and Don't Think Jesus, I think those are two of the best songs to come out so far in 2022. And I would love to see what a full album in this mood sounds like from Morgan. We've heard it on songs like Cover Me Up, but now it seems like that's more what he wants to push. It seems like his fan base gets behind that too, which I like. I mean, when Broadway Girls and You Proof, when he was putting those on Instagram, you read through the comments and people didn't really want it. But then when he posts videos of him playing Don't Think Jesus or Thought You Should Know, the connection's really there, and I think he's starting to see that, so I hope he leans more into that sound. I hope he goes for more of these personal songs that kind of chronologically fit his life. But yeah, as for an album, I don't know if it's leading towards an album. Tom made a really good point saying that he doesn't know if these are leading into anything as much as he's just kind of like catching up, releasing songs from last year that people have kind of been waiting for. So I don't know. Hopefully we get more music like Don't Think Jesus and Thought You Should Know. But at the moment, I don't think there's any other outstanding unreleased Morgan Wallen songs to look forward to. So I guess we just got to wait and see. I got to get moving. I got to go somewhere. So I'm going to kind of power through these. Brett Eldredge. Can this guy make a bad song? Like, at the moment, I don't think there's anyone in the zone like Brett Eldredge. He cannot make mistakes right now. He dropped a new one, Wait Up For Me. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's this stellar, cinematic, soundtrack-esque song with the big choir, similar to Holy Water. It's a more simple cut lyrically, but the focus is really on the sound. It's really on the mood and just enveloping you in this gospel-y, romantic vibe. I don't really like using the word vibe like that, but I don't know what other word to put there. I forget if I talked about Songs About You. I forget if that was in a New Music Friday or if that was in one of the ones that I ran out of time to make. But if I didn't, Songs About You is my absolute jam. I think it's groovy as hell. It's catchy as hell. I really like that song. I can really see the album starting to shape up as well. You can kind of see how it's going to flow sonically with the more energetic, upbeat songs, and then as it progresses, it's getting a little more personal, a little deeper, a little more somber, and yeah, I cannot wait for that album. Like, I can't wait. Brett Eldredge at this point is like my dad. Like, enough said. Then we got Luke Combs, who is also, man, his album is fast approaching too. When you miss like 3 or 4 weeks of stuff, you realize how quick everything's coming up. I mean, we got Zach Bryan this Friday. We got Brett Eldredge in just a few weeks. We got our man Luke Combs here in just a few weeks. First of all, we need to discuss this album cover. People have kind of, the disapproval's there. Everyone knows this is just not a good album cover, except Luke Combs. I'm like, why? Why did this have to happen? Like, this could have been a really cool album cover. Luke consistently goes for more of a cartoony, artistic style on his album covers, which I don't mind, but they always seem to just fall a little flat. And I think the Growing Up cover easily could have been his best one, but then he just slapped his face, half of his face on the side of it. And that's no diss to Luke's face. You got a beautiful face, but like, did it need to be here? And furthermore, why is it not in the same cartoony style, the same artistic style as the rest of the cover, which is really cool? It just interrupts the colors, the flow. Why? But on to the actual music. He put out Tomorrow Me, and I'm just going to come out and say that Tomorrow Me is like my favorite Luke Combs song I've heard in a while. I do like it a lot. I think it brings back those unique perspectives that we like hearing. A lot of personification, which I find to be a really powerful thing, how he's playing on the days of the week and just time in general, and just personifying his tomorrow self. I think it's a really cool perspective. It's kind of like Dear Today, but 10 times better because it's not flipping back and forth between iPhone and studio version, which I still will not forgive Luke for. I was really looking forward to that song, and it's hard to get into, but Tomorrow Me really hits the nail on the head. There's only one more pre-release before the album comes out on June 24th. It comes out the week before. I forget off the top of my head which one it is, but very excited, very glad he's not dropping like 10 of the 12 songs beforehand. One more, I can do that. I can wait another month for one more song and then get the whole album. He also dropped the track list for the album too, which is always cool to see. The only comment I have regarding the track list is that Miranda feature better not let me down like the Eric Church feature did. I'm expecting fireworks on that song. Whether that's happy fireworks or sad fireworks, I don't know. But man, like my disappointment when I heard Does to Me for the first time is immeasurable. Like I love that song and I still do, but it's just like to put Eric Church's name on it and then literally have him just like open the door to the studio, say like 2 things and leave. It's like, that's not justice. I needed a lot more than that and y'all didn't give it to me. Speaking of Eric Church, what is he doing with like canceling shows and now and Heart and Soul are coming out on vinyl and they're going to be on streaming and I don't know, man. I love Eric Church, but what is going on over there? Getting down there now, Jon Pardi, Fill Her Up. Absolute banger. I love this way more than Last Night Lonely. It's a big vibe, Western, honky-tonk. It's so playful. It's so carefree. It's so jovial. The acoustic bridge, I think, is absolutely killer. It's just, this song is so fun, man. The repetitive outro is almost comedic, how it keeps dragging out and repeating and like, fill her up again. I don't have a whole lot to say. I just think this is a through and through straight banger. Riley Green also put out a new one, Hell of a Way to Go. I know a lot of people were a big fan of this one, and I get what it's going for, but at the end of the day, it didn't really resonate with me as much as I wanted it to. Riley really likes these themes of life and the progression of life and time and running out of time. You got songs like Behind the Times, I Wish Grandpa's Never Died, Numbers on the Cars, Hell of a Way to Go. He really likes those ideas of time. As for this song, Hell of a Way to Go, it's got some great country production. It's exactly what you'd expect from Riley Green. Like, why would you expect bad production from a Riley Green song? That just doesn't make sense. There's steel, there's fiddle, there's guitar everywhere. Riley's voice sounds great. No complaints there. I still don't think it's the most interesting thing lyrically. It's Riley Green's trademark checklist. So I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's sufficient. It gets the pass. Although I will say, I don't know if it's just me, but it's starting to feel like 2019 again, and I really like that. You got Riley Green dropping music, Morgan Wallen's returning and starting to run town again. You got Jon Pardi dropping honky-tonk bangers, Midland just put out an album, Luke Combs' album Waiting in the Wings. It really is feeling like 2019 again, and that is a very good thing. All right, last couple ones here I'm going to blow through. Jake Owen, One by One. I think this is the best song he's put out of the couple new ones. I'm wondering if an album announcement is on the way with the singles having similar covers, and you know an album's coming. I don't know if there's an announcement yet. Maybe there is and I just completely missed it. If there was, let me know in the comments. But One by One, I love the way he plays on the numbers of the 5x7 up on the wall. This house ain't just 2x4s. Just taking the days one by one. Really like it. Clayton Mullen, that's my boy. That's my new bandwagon I've hopped on. He put out a new one, Burnt Orange. I do really like this song. I have some tweaks I would make, but overall, I am quite a fan. I wish either it was a little faster or the chorus was a little more full lyrically, because I feel like the melody's there, but the delivery, it kind of drags, like he's waiting for the beat to catch up, so he's kind of slowing down his delivery. So I don't know if I wanted the song to be faster, or like I said, if there's just a few more like transition words in the chorus to make it flow a little smoother. Regardless, I really like the story. I like how the story has a happy ending and how he ends up getting the girl again. I'm just really high on Clayton Mullen. Dude only has 4 songs out, so he's obviously still finding his sound. He's put out 4 songs that all sound pretty different. Personally, I really hope he goes down the more breezy Love Goes lane. That is still like arguably my favorite song of 2022 so far. Like, I really adore that song. Either way, Clayton Mullen, very new. I'd highly encourage you to check him out. I love his voice. It's almost like texture of Mitchell Tenpenny meets the gentleness of like a Cleto Cordero or Cleto Cordero, however you say it. Maybe that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. Clayton Mullen, check him out. I really like him. And then lastly, Kane Brown put out a new one, Like I Love Country Music. I'm mixed about it because I really like what he was going for. I think the song has the right idea. It's got the spirit. It's got that country soul. It's got some great movement. It's got a great palette. There's piano, there's fiddle, it's a great time. I just think it's overproduced. I don't know why that choice was made to make everything so loud, but I do think if you just take away some of the space, if you just thin out the mix a little bit, I think you have an incredible song. One complaint I do have, though, on the topic of the mix, it's very quiet. It feels very suffocated. It's not very crisp. Everything just feels very, like, dull and quiet. I don't know if you guys heard that or if I'm just losing my ears. But, yeah, the Brooks and Dunn inclusion is really cool. I like where Kane Brown's going. He put out Whiskey Sour. I adore that song. I think that song is absolutely incredible. Now he's got Like I Love Country Music. He's moving in the right direction. He's not there yet, but I'm liking where he's headed. All right, that is all I wanted to talk about today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. As I said, let me know what you thought of this more casual style. I kind of like it. I kind of like the conversational tone we get here. Let me know what you thought of these albums and these songs in the comments below. As I said, gonna try and get back on track. We got Zach Bryan album coming this Friday, 34 songs. I'm very ready. I mean, I'm not ready to go through 2.5 hours, but like, I'm very ready for some new Zach Bryan music. Either way, if you enjoyed this video, a like really does help the channel out. As I say, gonna try and get some more content, get back on the train. If you're new around here, maybe consider subscribing for more country music content. Links to my Instagram, Discord, podcast, all that jazz is down below in the description. Be sure to check those out, give it a follow, give it a join, give it a listen. And yeah, other than that, I don't think I have anything else to say. So until next time, I hope y'all have a great day.